They say you shouldn't confuse effort with results. I learned that lesson the hard way. For 4 years, I was the hidden foundation of Chronos Tech, 90-hour weeks. Coffee that went cold before I could drink it. I built the code base that became Horizon OS, the operating system that turned our startup into a billion-dollar company. I was the architect. But to them, I was just the guy who fixed the server when it hiccuped. Then came Marcus Thorne. A sleek suit, a silver tongue, and a $50 million bonus riding on a fast. Clean merger with Ether Corp. Marcus was brought in to make things efficient. That meant cutting the expandable. My termination meeting lasted less than 5 minutes. He smiled, he shook my hand, and he called me to green for the big leagues. Said I was too attached to the coding weeds to understand his vision. He didn't just fire a programmer. He fired the Cipher. The person who, 4 years ago, built a backdoor right into the heart of his golden asset. He never saw the code that was quietly waiting in the system, and he never imagined the price he was about to pay for underestimating the quiet one. This is the story of how one line of forgotten code brought a ruthless CEO to his knees. I should have been boxing up my desk, shoving my life into cardboard, taping up the last 4 years into silence. But instead, I found myself chasing ghosts through public records late into the night. Click after click, file after file, the truth started surfacing like a body breaking through still water. And by the 48th hour, I wasn't unemployed. I was unleashed. What I found was everything. The Chronos Tech acquisition wasn't primarily about money or market share. It hinged entirely on one fragile thread, the seamless real-time integration of Horizon OS. If that thread snapped, the multi-billion-dollar merger collapsed. Marcus would walk away empty-handed and disgraced. And the clock was merciless. 72 hours to close, 72 hours before the systems merged for good. Marcus thought Horizon was just another application, plug and play, patch and profit. But Horizon wasn't a program. It was a living network, a digital nervous system built to learn and adapt. And deep inside its core logic was something he didn't know existed. It was the self-diagnostic backdoor I built 4 years ago, designed to protect the system from collapse. It was no longer a shield. It was now my silent ace, the kill switch. The day of the merger signing was pure theater. Marcus Thorne stood center stage in the Chronos Tech boardroom's spotlights, glass walls, and a global audience streaming in live. Cameras flashed, champagne waited on ice. He was ready to claim his 50 million. What he didn't know was that the platform beneath his triumph was seconds from collapse. I wasn't there. I sat 3 blocks away in an anonymous coffee shop, bathed in the cold glow of my laptop. My weapon wasn't a virus, it was precision. One line of code. The self-diagnostic function I once built to protect Horizon OS, now rewritten to defend against him. Triggered the moment Horizon reached for Ether's servers. T-0. I executed the trigger. The system didn't crash. The crash is loud. Messy an autopsy waiting to happen. No, the Cipher moves in silence. Horizon OS simply held its breath. In the boardroom, the live metrics, those real-time data flow indicators Marcus bragged about, didn't turn red. They froze amber. The CEO of Ether noticed first. His smile faltered. The numbers on the screen stopped moving. Marcus launched into his speech, as you can see. Systems are operating flawlessly, ready for a seamless future, when his lead engineer leaned in, whispering panic. Their internal dashboard was flashing system dependency error. The O's refused to speak to Ether's server, a logic gate demanding credentials that no one in the room possessed. The beauty of it, the missing dependency was me. The system demanded its original architect before it would proceed. Horizon OS wasn't crashing, it was protecting itself. And Marcus was discovering that some ghosts don't delete easily. He tried to bluff it. I've called it a minor glitch. But the clock was running, and the Ether executives weren't smiling anymore. The frozen amber screen was a $50 million lie. Every minute that passed screamed the truth. Marcus Thorne had underestimated his architect. And that was just the beginning. The panic was setting in. The Cipher had only just started the countdown. You just witnessed the kill switch. Now flip yours. Like, subscribe, and let the engine roll. The system was restored. The merger signed. The Ether executives departed with polite smiles, but not before a quiet, private conversation with me. They'd seen two truths that day. Horizon OS was a masterpiece, and Marcus Thorne was a mistake. Marcus tried to recover, mumbling something about a promotion, trying to pretend it was his idea all along. But he wasn't talking to an employee anymore. He was speaking to the most valuable consultant on the planet. 2 days later, the offer came. Not a return, a promotion beyond imagination. Ether's CEO created a new role, Chief Software Integrity Officer, with stock, authority, and full executive privileges. Best of all, my clearance and access now outranked Marcus's old position by 2 levels. He was reassigned to a forgotten subsidiary, not fired, just erased. A man living in the shadow of a system he once claimed to own. Revenge wasn't rage. It was precision. Proof that true value lies with the builder, not the buyer. You can replace titles, merge empires, by silence. But you can't erase the architect who knows the code. And that is the price you pay when you try to discard a Cipher for being too green. This was the Cipher's edge.